Hi. I wanted to make a video about my experience with in-ear monitors to maybe help out some of those folks who are looking to start using in-ear monitors. I'm coming at it from the approach, though, of more of the semi-pro musician, not the touring pro, but the semi-pro who's spent 30 years plus, like myself, using stage monitors and doesn't want to feel isolated and on their own. They want to still feel like they're in a band, and that's why they're playing. When I first started using them 7 years ago with the band I'm in now, which is a Beach Boys tribute, we've been doing that for about almost 20 years now, but 7 years ago I decided I wanted to start using in-ear monitors to clean up the sound, for better intonation, for all the reasons that you want in-ear monitors. And I went out and bought some various and sundry earbuds. I mean, I have these ones that are Shure. These are full isolating earbuds. Here's another pair of M-Audios. Full isolating earbuds. At one point I bought custom molded dual driver earbuds. So I've spent a lot of money buying good quality earbuds. The problem that I found with them was the isolation. I didn't like feeling isolated from the band and isolated from the audience. If you're a touring pro, I guess you get used to it. But I didn't. And I really couldn't stand the sound of hearing my own voice coming back at me through my sinuses and through the cavities in your head. And an engineer at one of the casinos we played had a little trick where you would flip the polarity on the microphone, and that actually would help with the hearing yourself, because I think what was happening is there was some sort of phasing problem between the sound as it reverberates through your sinuses versus what you're hearing in your ear, and if you flip the phase, that can help with that. But that wasn't really the problem. I mean, not in its entirety anyway. So I'd almost given up on in-ears till I tried using my Bose earbuds that I had for listening to my iPod. I've always loved Bose gear. I mean, Bose audio is great. Yeah, they're not reference monitors. You don't want to try to mix a CD or something with this. But for listening to music, it's great. And they have these little silicone earbuds with the little Spock ear looking thing, and it holds pretty well and it works great. But the real beauty of them is you have a full range of sound that sounds great, and you can hear the ambient, all of the ambient. There's maybe 1 dB of attenuation when you have those in your head, and you don't hear your own sinuses. And it was great. I mean, it was going to these earbuds was life-changing, for lack of a better way of putting it. It really changed things for me. It made it so I could use them. And at that point, I had bought several pairs of the earbuds. I bought in-ear monitor packs for everybody in the band, and the whole band switched over to in-ear monitors once we could use these. And because they were guys like myself, they played in bar bands most of their life. They just were used to playing with monitors and hearing the stage volume and everything. But again, like me, well, maybe not so much like me. I mean, I have tinnitus now. I have recruitment, and I have hearing loss from all the years of playing. So, I was looking for more for that use too. But these really help. Now, there's a couple of drawbacks. Again, the drawbacks to the isolating, I don't need to go into that. I don't like it. I don't want to use. I won't use isolating earbuds anymore. I don't like it. The drawbacks and I see I've got a couple pair of them, to these Bose earbuds. These are the newer version. The drawback is that, when you put it in your ear, it's this big blobby thing on the side of your head with this wire hanging down. It doesn't look pro. And it doesn't look pro because they're not. They're not pro. These are consumer grade earbuds. And they're not made to be used by pros, and they're not made for in-ear monitors. I'm going to take a bit of a sidetrack here for just a second. A few years back, when I had my custom molded isolating earbuds made, at the same time I had 2 pairs of molds made. And one pair I sent off to have the dual driver earbuds made. The other pair I sent down to this company, Alien Ears, and they made these silicone earplugs for me that have these vents in them. They have these these inserts that basically lower the volume by 9 decibels and they don't attenuate the high end. They attenuate some of the high end, just not very much. Nothing like a normal earbud. And I absolutely adore it. I mean, I love these things. I don't go to a concert without them. I don't go to bars without them. I keep them with me all the time. Any place I go that has any sort of loud volumes, I always put them in because I can still hear everything. I can still maintain, an awareness, but still hear what's going on, but it's turned down. So the reason I talked about these was also because when I had those custom ones made, I decided I wanted to try to hear some ambient. So I talked to the company who made the custom molded earbuds, and they put what they called a vent, where they basically route out a channel that would go basically all the way down, unlike these where it's a vent that opens through. It was basically just open air and broke the seal. And that doesn't work, because if you break the seal, you lose all the low end. And that's exactly what happened. I put these the molded ones back in. I could hear fine ambient, but there was no seal, there was no low end. It's sort of like, and you can see this, if you have a pair of headphones on, if you lift the headphones off your head, all the low end goes. And the reason is because it's designed to be sealed around your head. And so, same thing happened with so I sent the molded ones back to the company, they refilled in the vent, and then they worked fine again as earbuds, but again, I was back to my isolating problem, hearing my voice through my sinuses. Now I use them to cut the grass, which is why I can't put my hands on them right now, because I think they're up with the lawnmower. But the idea of these earbud plugs with that vent is a great idea, and it works. And then I found out that a couple of years ago, at the 2016 NAMM is what it looks like, Westone Audio, who is a pro audio company, Westone Audio created these new earbuds. They had the UM Pro, which were the universal fit isolating earbuds. Well, these are the AM Pro series, and they basically are ambient in-ear monitors. And they have a neat technology they have that basically, I think it's something similar to this 9 dB filter that Alien Ears use, and it filters it down, I think, by 12 dB. But it lets ambient air sound in, but seals off and keeps the low end, so you can hear ambient and have the low end. I think it works sort of like a one-way valve, like if you can imagine a water valve that basically closes with back pressure. I think it probably works something like that. I don't know, but let's just go with it. So these I thought, man, that's great. I bought a pair. These are the dual driver version. These are the AM Pro 20s. I tried them at our last show. Halfway through the set, I had to take a quick pause and basically pull these out of my body pack and go back to my Bose. Because although they let in ambient sound, 12 dB cut was still too much. I couldn't hear the mains. I like to hear a little bit of the mains. I couldn't hear the audience really. I couldn't hear the drums. I had to dial up the drums using the little app for my QSC Touch Mix mixer that we use for our monitors. I had to dial up a bunch of drums in it, and it wasn't working for me. And I was disappointed. I really wanted this to work, because these are pro. I mean, they look more pro. They have the wire that goes up over the ear. They go in. It's a nicer form factor. It's more comfortable. Which is my biggest problem with these Bose. As I said, they don't look pro, right? You got wires hanging down the side of your face. They don't look pro. So don't get me wrong. I'm not saying the Westone AM Pro 20s are bad. They're actually, kudos to Westone. They actually did a great job with these. They are way better than any of the complete isolating earbuds I've ever used. Way better. But still too much ambient attenuation. And so I guess what I'm saying is, if somebody from Westone is watching this video, again, kudos, you did a good job, but is there any way to make it so you maybe only have 1 or 2 dB, maybe 3 at most, and so you have that much ambient and only that little bit of removal? I think that would be great, and I'd love to try them again. If someone from Bose is watching this video, why can't you guys make a pro audio version of this? I mean, I would think there's a market for that. I don't know. Maybe there isn't, But I mean, can't you make basically this same earbud, or I guess this is the new version, make this same earbud, but make it in a pro audio form factor where it's more of this shape and has a professional quality wire that goes up over the ear and around the back, and maybe make them clear so they're not so obvious. If that's too much to ask, could you even start making just the wired earbuds again that doesn't have a microphone on it? That's the other big problem I run into recently is these things only, I've gone through quite a few pairs of these because they're not pro quality, they are consumer grade, and you can't buy Bose earbuds without a microphone anymore. They don't make one. So I've had to buy on eBay new old stock of these older earbuds. I even, by accident, somehow got a pair of Chinese fakes accidentally in my attempts to try to find one that didn't have a microphone. So, yeah, FYI, if you're buying these on eBay, be careful. Don't get taken by the Chinese fakes. But Bose, if you could make some I mean, you've got PA systems now that sound good. Why can't you make a pro version of earbuds? So in conclusion, if you're looking at going to in-ear monitors, but you really just want to eliminate monitors on the stage, but you still want some ambient sound, consider using these Bose earbuds if you can find them. They work great. I strongly recommend them. I strongly recommend that you buy a transmitter and body pack for each guy. There was a school of thought that says you could buy one transmitter with 2 body packs and then pan them right and left and run them mono. So you have mix 1 and mix 2, but a mono mix in the ears. That doesn't work very well. I don't think you'll be happy. You really kind of need a little bit of that stereo separation of each of the instruments to really be able to hear the way you think you want to. If you're a band who still plays ridiculously loud and you have Marshall stacks on stage and you're just a drummer who just pounds the drums, yeah, you know what? These might work great. Seriously, you might want to seriously consider these Westones, because you probably would still hear some ambient and it would just turn it down by 12 dB and yet you'd still hear your vocals and everything and not have to worry about feedback of monitors and all that kind of stuff. So these might be an option for you. And because like I said, I'm not saying they're bad. They're good. The Westone AM Pro 20s are good. They're just not really what I need, or what I think guys like me are looking for. And they're looking for almost pure ambient. And I get it with these Bose. So if you have comments, questions, feel free to post. I don't know if I'll answer them or not. Maybe I will. I don't know. I don't do this. I'm not a YouTube video maker, so it's not like I'm looking at YouTube all the time. I just wanted to try to do this to help some folks. Good luck, and take care.